We're now going to bring a completed building onto a site topography. Then we'll be able to add roads, adjust the contours, and bring in the context that we would want for site development. So we're going to start with a blank document, and I prepared a file, a DWG file, or yes, DWG file that has topography like this, and a corresponding JPEG image of the satellite view so that we can align roads and other elements. And those are both on our site. I'll drag that on so you can see it. This is a kind of a version of it. These will be different images down here. But we have the lab topography. And actually, I'll just click on that right away and we'll get it downloaded. We're going to download that. I'm saving mine to the desktop. I'm going to also click on the site. And I'm going to right click on that. It's opened up in the browser. And I'm going to save that image as its same name, but I'll save it also to the desktop so we have that available. And then I'll just put this away and move that over. And we'll quit out of this. I'll close this one. And we're going to open up a new project. And I need to browse for my template. I don't have a clean path to it. Let me go to all my files here. And I'm just going to grab the template RTE. It's an architectural template that you might have if you're in 2019. And with all templates, I mean, it's important to, when it opens, to make sure that it has the elements we need, which are the elevations are started. We have a site marker, all of the typical features of an architectural drawing or drawing BIM model drawing set that we're going to want to use. And the first thing we're going to do is bring in our DWG file, which has all of our site contours on it. So I'm going to go up to Insert, and I'm going to import CAD, and then back out to the desktop here. And I'll grab that DWG file and open it. And I think I'm going to just get ahead on turning the volume down here a little bit because we're going to get some warnings. And I'm going to zoom out on this drawing. And you can see these site markers. If we place a building over here, we're going to have a really kind of a screwed up elevation views. So I want to go ahead right away and grab our site markers. So I'm just going to, any way I can get in here and grab them. And I'm going to just pull those off of our topography. That way, when we take a look at one of these views, we'll be including the whole site. Oops. So it'll just take a second to do this. So eventually, if you skip this step, you'll be asking me a question about why everything isn't showing up on my views. Okay, so that we've done that now, I'll go to a 3D view and you can see a little more about what's going on with this file. Right now it's rendering. It's this view I must have left on this drawing with a rendering setting. I'm going to change this to none so that we can change it back to a wireframe. And I'll set that like this. So you can see that, you know, these are our level markers in the original drawing. That little pink thing is a guy that came from the drawing set I created. And then we have our site topography. And right away we want to convert what our polygons to site terrain isobars. And we're going to do that by using going to our massing and site and clicking on topo surface. And we want to create it from an import. We could generate all kinds of data points to indicate levels of height and that, but we're using the idea of selecting imported shape. I'm going to go ahead and select it. It adds points, and we can just leave all of those selected. That's not going to really affect it. We get a little warning about an auto boundary. I think that has to do with what's going on at this edge condition of this particular drawing, but it won't affect our performance here. I'm going to click it completed. And the next thing I want to do now is you'll see we've generated all of our site topography isobars. And if I roll over this and tab one time, I will go from selecting the topo surface to the DWG import, and I'll click on that symbol, and unpin it so that we can go ahead and delete it because we no longer need it. Now we have our three-dimensional, and if we look at this from the site plan, there we have our site terrain. It's on this angle because that's a variation from true north. So it is in the proper north-south orientation for us. So we're really set to go with ideas about lighting and time of day with the building it gets placed on it, etc. In the next clip, I will pick up on importing the JPEG image and aligning that with the surface so that we can start to pull up the information about roads and other site features.